Teresa said what?
And Jennifer Aiden smoking what?
Virtual reality. Hi, I'm Danny.
And I'm Evan.
We are still recovering from that Jersey reunion part 1.
There were so many dramatic moments to pick from, but here are the top 5 that we can still not get over.
I mean, Evan, my jaw was on the floor when Teresa slammed the relationship with Melissa Gorga.
This is the thing, honey. We're not close.
Okay.
Like, you're my sister-in-law, but we're not close.
Understandable.
It reminded me of when she called Danielle Staub honey. Never ends well for her.
Well, it was so great because, I mean, it was wonderful to finally see Melissa and Teresa make a pact to stop faking it. I feel like a lot of the viewers, myself included, we've known that these girls have not liked each other for years and years and years, but now we said it.
Now we said it, and now we're also bringing up Melissa's wedding when she didn't reschedule it because Teresa was pregnant. The audacity of Melissa.
It's just incredible that Teresa is hanging on to this like 20-year-old nugget. Like, what are you doing, Tree?
No, she had that in that Nickelodeon like time capsule where she opened it 20 years later. Like, here we are. And speaking of people always wanted to keep Teresa happy, Melissa did, but also Joe Gorga did. And what were your thoughts on Teresa saying that he's a little too involved in the drama?
I mean, that's the reason why so many people love the Real Housewives of New Jersey is because the men are so involved. I mean, they could seriously have their own show. We have separate scenes, separate storylines based around the men. So Joe Gorga is just doing his job, supporting his wife. And I thought it was kind of lame for Teresa to make that dig, especially when like Louis has been on mostly every single episode of this season. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, also that because the drama, Trey, this season is about your man and about how some things that you don't want to bring up. So yeah, everyone's getting involved because you're not talking about anything. People are trying to answer some questions on their own now.
Teresa is just messy. She doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, the woman can't understand an analogy. So does she have any idea what she's even saying? I don't know. I don't know what she's saying half the time.
I don't think anybody ever, that's why I feel like a lot of the ladies are sitting there like, what is going on? We're just going to nod through it. But who I feel like always knows what she's saying and is saying it all this reunion is Dolores, because her against Jennifer brought me to a new level of life that I did not even expect.
You're disgusting.
You're disgusting.
I apologize to all three of you for ever and ever
Go
sticking
Rambo.
up for her.
Because Dolores is one thing, she keeps herself accountable.
She does. She will admit her wrongs, and in her opinion, she was wrong for defending Jennifer this season. I would just love to know what kinds of conversations these two had in between filming and the reunion, because I mean, it seems like there wasn't a lot of communication, but I would still like to see the text receipts and how they got to this point. But what I also love is that I love when two housewives are fighting so hard and they're literally seated right next to each other. It's so wonderfully uncomfortable.
It's the most dramatic Uber pool ride of anybody's life because it's just these two people in the back and you're like, what is going on? I'm overwhelmed. And I'm like, Dolores, if anyone would throw a punch, it would be our little girl Dolores. So Jennifer, watch the nose. No one I feel is talking about this quick moment that we both picked up on.
Why are you crying about a rumor if it's not true?
All right, you cried all season this season, so okay.
Jackie's story this season was about her trying to overcoming her eating disorder, which I'm like, Trey, you had so many moments of body shaming and now you throw this into it. How is no one calling it out?
I feel like Teresa Giudice is stuck in 2010 when stuff like this would fly. Like she has not grown too much over the past decade, whereas Jackie this season has grown quite a bit, especially as it pertains to her eating disorder struggles. And for Teresa to mock her for crying all season when she knows the reason for Jackie's tears was because of her eating disorder struggles, it was just so rude and insensitive. But then again, we just said that Teresa doesn't know what she's saying half the time. Did she even watch the scenes that she wasn't in? I don't know. She probably has no idea that Jackie went through all this.
Margaret doesn't drink, but we know our girl Jennifer loves her tequila. But we also learned, Evan, something extra about her.
You're high hip the time.
Okay.
I don't know how much pot she smokes.
Yeah, so Margaret said that this girl is smoking weed all the time, and I gotta say I'm kind of surprised I didn't take Jennifer Aiden for a pothead.
No, but I'm glad that she has that mellow moment for her because she's usually pretty stressed on the show. But I'm glad to see that she might have a little bit reinforcements to calm her down. That was only part 1. But I mean, before we get into part 2 next week, we got to know, guys, what are you all thinking about the reunion so far? Was Teresa out of line about Melissa?
Yeah, whose side are you on? Which housewife are you feeling? Let us know in the comments below.